Today we're here with Disposable Relly, aka Relly Phelps, amazing photographer, nightlife producer. I wanted to start by asking a little bit about how you got into photography and then obviously like event production as part of that as well.
Yeah. During COVID, I lost my job, and
Which was?
I was working as an attorney. So
You're a lawyer.
as a lawyer.
You're like a qualified lawyer. There's no way. I didn't
Yeah.
know that about you.
And
wow. Some Relly law I didn't know.
Yeah, so I was I just actually left my job, and I was just accepted an offer from another job.
Okay.
And then the city shut down, and they were like, "We will get back to you." And then like a month later, they were like, "Yeah, never mind." And I definitely wasn't the most like kosher COVID dude. Like I was definitely
You're outside, like having fun,
Yeah.
still living your life, yeah.
a little bit.
Were you in New York City for the pandemic?
Yeah, my family's here, so like that's mostly what we did. And I started fooling around with disposable cameras.
Yeah.
And then my aunt.
Had your secret lockdown parties.
Yeah, I mean they weren't really secret. I remember one time I posted like a story while I was like out in the Hamptons, and usually I like close friends it, and I posted it, and people went off. Yeah. And I was drunk, and like I pressed regular story and whatever, but I had hella time on my hands. My aunt was a film photographer, so when I decided to take it seriously, she had left me like all her stuff, so I just went home and scooped it up.
And that was like disposable photography, or like you got more into film?
I got more into film. This dude who I was actually just at a wedding at, we were in Italy.
That looked beautiful. I was so jealous. Yeah.
It was fire. And this dude I was with, I remember I was like at a party, and I didn't really care about photography, and we were at some like afters in like 2021, and he was like, "You don't need that disposable camera. The cameraman is who brings the energy out." And I was like, girls just love when they see a disposable camera. Like, that's why I'm doing this. And he was like, "You don't need to do that, man." And I was like, shut the fuck up. And then low-key, I went home, and I was like, he might be onto something though. And then I went and bought a camera after that.
What was your first camera?
An Olympus MJU2 is a point and shoot. I just Googled like what's a good point and shoot camera. And then I DM'd my boy Todd, who had just started his company, Project 91. And I said, "You need me." And he was like, "Pull up." So I brought cameras I didn't know how to use.
Right.
Just to like look official. And then I just walked around with the point and shoot. And he was like, "That was fire. Come back and do it."
So were you being paid at first, or you just showing up?
I was just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
But I got paid for that. And I Googled what should my rate be.
So you went from being a lawyer to like a sort of free to freelance photographer.
Really free. Really, it was free.
And is that when you started like taking pictures of girls and then developed? Is that kind of like how this brand came about?
Yeah, it was just like we were just like having fun. It was like house parties. I remember before they blew up, Partyful hit me up, and like they were like, "We love your house party photos," and I didn't really have like any Instagram presence or anything. And it was literally like me and my friends dancing at like an actual house party, and by house party I mean there were like 17 people there.
A small gathering.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh man, we love it." And I had no idea they would blow up, but they like licensed a bunch of my photos for Partyful. Also had to Google how much I should sell those for. But yeah, just kind of been like learning as I go.
So you're like having fun, taking pictures, and then when did you decide to start Bodega Flowers? And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, like, can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
It's kind of like a lifestyle brand. We do like everything. Do a lot of events.
I see your hat.
This is my hat. We did a collab with Billionaire Boys Club. But it started with an art show that I did with our good friend Miguel.
Yeah, shout out Miguel.
Yeah, shout out Miguel. I was like in some very toxic shit with an ex-girlfriend and then two ex-girlfriends actually.
Simultaneously.
It was like honestly no, surprisingly, to be real. But they did come like I like got out of a toxic relationship and I was like, okay, I need a date. She was like younger. And I was like, I need to date someone who's the exact opposite. So I dated an old woman. She was worse. So it was just like back to
When
back.
you go from like one to the other, hoping that it would be like everything the other wasn't, and you're like, oh my god, like this is actually worse. Fuck.
It was way worse. And
So is it like an art show? Or like a
yeah, it was an
gallery
art
that you
show.
go to?
So we did an art show, and it was basically like based around my breakup with both of them, and we like included a bunch of writing. It was like. And it was a party, everyone, and like the reception from it was crazy. It was the first time I ever did like a brand collab of any sort or like anything about a sponsorship or like anything like that. And it was mad fun. People were like super moved by it. And then I just kind of kept going after that.
And then the parties element of it, did that come next?
Yeah, I think it was just like, what other events are you gonna do? I've always like kind of thrown parties. I used to have this really embarrassing party group when I was in college, and it was called the Booty League.
So you've always been like this?
Yeah.
Born and raised?
Yeah.
Like...
It was pretty funny. It was like a bunch of my friends. We just like, a lot of the minorities in private school, when we come home for the summer, there weren't a lot of spaces for kids to party.
Yeah.
Because all of our friends in private school were like rich white kids. So they just went to clubs and did whatever. And so we just like, we threw a backyard party in Canarsie. And then...
Where did you go to college? In
the city? No, in Pennsylvania, Franklin Marshall.
And for law? So funny.
Government major, yeah. And then I went to Brooklyn Law. But yeah, we just like, we've always kind of like done shit like that forever.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what do you think makes Bodega Flowers successful?
I think it's like that everything we do is like, I might mean a lie and be like everything's like super intentional because it's not. Because sometimes I want to have a party to have a party.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'm broke and I'm like, I should throw a party. But I think for the most part though, everything we have done and every connection that we've made has been like really genuine, has been like a friend or...
Feels very homegrown.
Yeah. There's been nobody that I've worked with that the connection hasn't been real. Like there's been no like random brand reach out. And we do get them like all the time.
Yeah.
But there's been no random like brand being like, hey, we want to help you or whatever. It's always been like someone I know transitions to another role and they're like, yo, now we can do this. I've wanted to work with you forever. Or I want to start embroidery. Like my friend Grace was like, I'm doing embroidery now. And I was like, embroider some shirts. Like, I don't know anything about merch, but we can do whatever you want to do.
Let's link and build.
Yeah. Why not?
What's your favorite like brand collaboration that you've done?
BBC was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty crazy.
And that was like a line of like kind of like apparel and then the book, or did you like explain the...
Yeah. So we published a book.
I bought one. It's in my house.
Yeah. So we did that. And that was like a collab with me and one of my homies. Again, like, you know, they say you don't find love in the club, but there's a lot of things to be found in the club.
There is.
There's a lot to be found in the club.
A lot of stories.
Yeah, a lot of stories. A lot
Good
of people.
and bad.
If you can make it out of the club into a genuine friendship, like after, I feel like whatever happens in the club, like you're my homie forever. Because what you saw is crazy. Yeah. And that's how I met my friend London. I met her boyfriend and little sister.
That's how
and
they met.
they met in Little Sister, and we just like, she was like, I want to, like, let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
what do you have coming up? Like, let's figure something out. And so we did it, and we launched the book with Billionaire Boys Club.
Yeah, it was a beautiful party.
Yeah,
I
it was
really
crazy.
Like, I'd never been to the store before.
Yeah.
And like the whole vibe in there was really lovely.
Yeah.
Like I loved what you did with the book. I noticed like throughout it, there's a lot of like just like juxtaposition and unsaid things. How did you pick the photos? How did you come up with that concept? And could you like talk a little bit about the concept for anyone who hasn't read the book? And,
So the whole idea is my boy Jeremy is a street photographer. He's like a digital guy, shoots a lot of Leica stuff. He came up with the idea. He was like the second, so that dude that was annoying at the party. And then Jeremy, who's been a photographer for like forever. When I was on the point and shoot, finally, he was like, yo, like, I know you're not like doing anything and you're just like pointing on auto, but like you have something here.
Yeah.
And then he hit me up and he was like, I have an idea. And this was the idea. And so we kind of like juxtapose my nightlife photography with his street life photography to show that even though the mediums are different, even though the subjects are different, the day and the night are the same. And Jeremy is also very different from me. He's like the most wholesome Midwestern white man, married.
Different to you? Doesn't sound anything like it.
He's just like a beautiful soul, like inside and out. And we like use a lot of our text messages.
Yeah.
Like throughout the book to kind of caption the photos, and like even our texts are juxtaposed. I remember the book designer was like, I don't know you guys, but someone is this person and someone's this person. So I don't know, it's been a fun, we had to match like hundreds of thousands of photos.
Yeah. As I was flicking through, I was thinking this must have just taken so much time to like isolate and identify like certain images and then like bring them together. I can only imagine how time consuming
it was probably like
was.
a year, I think it was like a year and a half.
Really?
Wow. That we've been like doing it. It was about a year and a half. I didn't tell anyone about it, just kind of like
just silently grinded away.
Yeah. And then announced it.
Yeah, it was amazing. I really like it. What's something you want readers to like take away from the book?
I think my favorite part of the book is that it's raw and that like the text messages are a huge part of it, right? Because we're talking about like truly candid moments. Mm-hmm. Even his street photography is extremely candid.
Yeah.
So like those text messages are like the most personal like moments of our lives. Yeah. And like some of them are funny and then some of them you're like, damn, what was happening in that text? Like that's depressing.
Yeah. Well, I know this isn't like exactly on the point of your book, but you're talking about text messages, right? So on your story, you're always posting like screenshots, outrageous fucking screenshots. Are they real? Or are they not real? Like, where do you source this? And like,
I source them from my life, you know?
Seriously. There's a genuine interaction to having with people.
Yeah, and the best part is people send me their text now. So sometimes I will like post text that someone else sent me, but it's a funny like engaging way because people will be like, look at this, like you posted this, look at this, and I'm like, damn, you're crazy too, like.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be chilling and like scrolling on your story and just like, what the fuck, and I'd be like showing my friends, I'm like, who is that? I'm like, don't worry about it. There's
definitely like a few relationships that when I like need content, I just like go back. Like we haven't talked in like 2 years, and I just go back and like scroll for like
some crazy shit.
Yeah, and I just find it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just put that up.
That's funny. Back to your book though. What is your favorite like image in there? Do you have a favorite, like a section or something that really stands out to you as meaningful to you?
We broke it down into different like emotions. The disharmony one is pretty cool. There's a lot of emotions in that one. This is actually a sick spread right here.
Love that.
Yeah. Little Sister also. Gotta love Little Sister. They've been getting
Don't
on
we
me. Yeah, they've been getting on me about shooting.
Oh, because
Recently.
you're supposed to take pictures in there and
Well,
stuff.
now I'm like on the Tao payroll, so like they know who I am in my
I see.
pictures. So they're like, "You're not working tonight," and I'm like, "Damn, I'm not." You're right.
Oh, and so they don't want you to take pictures unless you're working.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've wanted to like film my DJ sets when I'm like working at Tao venues, but that they have like kind of like exclusive clients and stuff like that, so they're a bit like cautious about filming and stuff if it's not like sanctioned.
Yeah. So I don't know, but there's a lot of emotions in the disharmony one. It's like the texts are the most raw and that the pictures are the most raw. It's definitely like I definitely hit up a few people and we're like, is it cool if I post this?
Yeah.
Because there was definitely like a few photos where I'm like, I don't actually even really remember what you were going through in that, but you were going through something. And
yeah, you don't want to exploit your subjects, kind of.
Exactly.
Thing. Yeah. Do you see? Did you enjoy making this book, and like, would you do more? Do you want to pursue like art books?
Oh, I loved it. I did a COVID book. It's so janky.
I always start like putting like little books together from like my pictures because my dad does that. So he's always like captured our like family moments or like trips and stuff. But it's such a big process to like actually finish it that unless it's like something you're super passionate about or you like want to sell, it's like it can sometimes fall off.
No, it was like
list of
forever.
things, yeah.
It was a forever process that we went through. So yeah, I probably won't do one for a while after this. But that's also the hard part too, is like I'm doing it and the whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, oh damn, I just took like a crazy picture yesterday though. And you have to just like be done and not keep adding to it. There were a few last minutes.
The next crate, you know, like move forward totally.
There were a few last minute additions for sure that we used, or a couple of times we would just be like, okay, like we're just gonna swap those two out because that one fits this better, kind of thing.
Did you have like anyone who inspired you like creatively in that book? Like, do you have any artists or photographers that like you draw a lot of inspiration from?
Honestly, I draw inspiration mostly from my homies. To be real, I have so many creative homies. Even like my wall are all either pictures I've taken or my friends have taken. There's nobody random up there. Like Miguel's up there, AP's up there, my friend Bianca's up there, my homie Kate's up there. So it's all like people I fuck with.
Inspired by the streets and people in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you know how crazy Miguel is. Like, we both will call each other in the middle of the night and be like, yo, I just need to tell you so I don't forget, you don't forget, but I have this idea. And we need to do it. And then it takes like a few months for us to actually do something about it. Like, I just hit him yesterday and I was like, all right, you know that idea that we had 3 months ago? I have time. Let's do it now. Yeah. And he was like, okay, bet. Done.
And you enjoy collaborating with other people.
Yeah, right? It's mad fun. It's fun to like see a project that you and all your friends did together, like be done. Yeah. Even like the BBC things, all homies, like everyone, even like the BFA photographer. I was like, I want this person to shoot it because she's been my homie for mad long. And I was like, I want to. And I remember when she started becoming a photographer, she was like, can you make a living? I was like, it's hard, but you can. Yeah. And so she quit her job to become a photographer.
Does she regret that?
She loves it.
That's good.
She's killing it too. So it was cool to like even have her there shooting. We've never like shot anything together before. The after party was very ratchet though. I was so drunk.
Do you have any advice to people who like have got a 9-to-5 and they have a creative passion? A little bit like, you know, the classic story of, you know, I'm working in legal, I want to be a singer, but I'm scared to make that jump. You've obviously done that and encouraged other people too. Like, do you have anything you want to say?
I think like, I mean, just like, it works. If you want it, like, it works. I didn't quit my job till 2022, which was, I probably jumped the gun a little bit for sure. But if you want to do it, make time for it, and you will have to sacrifice certain things. But it's just kind of like, how much do you, like, even like hobbies, like, my friend Gretchen, who can like never hang out, has a crazy finance job. And she doesn't make money really drawing, but like she makes sure she has. I'll be like, "Do you want to get drinks?" And she'll be like, "Yeah, I'm super busy." And then I see that she like, and then she'll be like, "Yeah, I got home after work and I drew for 6 hours." And I'm like, "She weren't that busy, but okay." But like, there is
Prioritize yourself
time.
and your hobbies.
Yeah.
I get
There's
that.
time. There's time. But yeah, that's honestly just like keep doing it until you feel like it can sustain itself.
Yeah. So I want to talk about as well, like dating as part of your brand and this like persona that you've created.
Yeah.
What made, I guess like in this conversation, I've realized it is just who you are, and so you're just expressing that. But like, what made you bring that into your like public brand? Because obviously everybody's got a romantic life.
Yeah.
Not everybody kind of monetize that in a way.
For sure. I don't know. I mean, it really was like a film Instagram. Like it was definitely like a white girl, like Disposable Relly. Like, I mean, when I started it, I was dating a girl I was living with. And I remember just being like, I didn't tell her about it. It was a huge thing. It was like part of why we broke up. But there were
What,
like,
that you didn't tell her about Disposable Relly?
yeah. But like, it was like, there were like 200 people on the page. Like it wasn't like anything. It was actually like my film Insta, like on the side. And I was just like, I don't know why, but I want this for myself. And there was nothing bad on it or anything. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to tell you. We broke up very quickly after.
Okay.
But I felt this like place where I could like express myself. I've always been chaotic with dating and shit like that. But so when it started out that way, I just kind of like kept doing it, and I didn't think it would grow at all. So people
love it. Like I eat it up.
Oh my! When I did Bodega Flowers and I was doing like people like grown ass men, like today, be coming up to me, like I was at a cookout this summer, and this dude who I was like super cool with in college, and like a little bit after I guess, but he came up to me with his girl is there, and he's like happy and shit now, and he came up to me, he's like, I never got the chance to tell you, bro, but that shit you were posting, like, that shit really got me through some stuff. And I was like, what? I just be saying shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, I'm saying what's on my mind, but like, I think it's on a lot of people's minds and people connect with that.
Yeah. I think like there's a level of like, you show a level of like the intimacy, and not like in a graphic way, but just like the true ins and outs and ups and downs of like complicated like feelings for people, and that I don't think we get to see a lot. I think we're supposed to see everything's perfect, everything's normal, everything's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you show that like fuck it, everyone's like a hot mess, and it's like it's sexy.
I'll be like
being a hot mess can be fun, and it doesn't have to be like all that.
I just also think it's real, and so like when I'm like, especially because the photos I post are mostly in moments of pleasure. When I'm like, yeah, but yes, I was at this like crazy party, this amazing event, sponsored by X, Y, and Z. At the same time, which is a real experience. At the same time, I was on my phone texting my ex, being like, I can't believe like we did that together. Like, and that's really what's happening, right? Like, I'm at this event. I just took the video and posted it on my story. And then I switched over to text and I was like, I miss you, And she was like, you could die. And I was like, word, So that is really what's happening like in that moment. People are afraid to text me now though.
They're afraid to text you because they're worried they get caught. How do you like maintain like privacy though as well? Because obviously you do have a genuine romantic life, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How do you balance like being like this public like ball of chaos, but then also having like your own stuff? Is there a line that you draw?
I mean, I think it's hard because your romantic partner wants like a level of public like declaration,
Yeah.
but at the same time they understand the brand, and then at the same time they also don't want to be put on display either for the brand.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird balance of like, I don't know, I've been out before and been dating, and that's also like a weird like stressful thing, right? Where like I'm out and I'm dating someone and someone will be like, how do you guys know each other? And I'll be like, we're dating. And they'll be like, what?
I'm pretty sure I've done that too.
Yeah, for sure. You'd be
I'm
like,
okay, buddy.
dating who? And it'll be like somebody I've dating for like 6 months, and they'll be like, because also like the persona is so chaotic that even if you don't know me, like it's different
I think
for
it's
you.
worse if you don't know you.
Yeah, because they're like, how could you
Like,
be dating?
Surely fucking not. Let's be so for real, yeah.
And it's also funny when you like ask someone out and they're like,
Get
you have
fucked.
500 girlfriends, and I'm like, I know it'd be looking like that, but it's the internet. Like it's the internet.
Over time doesn't count.
Yeah, like I have had 500 girlfriends, but I don't have 500 girlfriends.
I love how indulgent you are.
Yeah,
It's an inspiration to us.
you gotta, do what you gotta do.
What's a piece of dating advice you'd give to the average person?
Real advice:
Yes.
don't even think about taking someone seriously until you are an adult. And by an adult, I mean until you live alone, until you are financially stable, until everything is a decision to be with someone and there's no outlier reasons to be with someone. I always used to say like the girl I love the most in my whole life probably was my middle school girlfriend, because there was no reason I loved her. She didn't have any money. I didn't have anything. Nothing. I ran fast and I jumped high, and she was like, he is elite. I was like, she has the biggest boobs in the class and she's funny and I love her. Like that was
just simple.
There's no responsibilities.
You're not providing.
There's nothing.
Power balance.
Yeah. It's just we like each other and that's it.
Would you consider yourself an adult by your own standards?
Complicated question, I think I've been through a lot of relationship experience, and so I know when something's real and when something's not.
Yeah.
I'm also like violently honest with the people I date, and I think that is something that people should practice.
Yeah.
Just because we also live in New York, right? And like, the dating pool is endless. Like it's actually
endless. Every year there's a new.
You can walk we can walk down the street and be like, we should date.
My wife.
You could be dating 8 people on the same block, and they wouldn't know. They'd be like, okay.
Yeah, because there's like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like giving people the opportunity to make an informed decision, I think is like, even like people who date multiple people, I'm like, do you just say I'm dating multiple people, or by the way, I'm sleeping with someone else. The truth is, like, I have been hurt like crazy, which is also a part of the persona. I think I like it or something.
Is it a coping mechanism?
I mean, there's also this thing, right, where like, if I know I'm gonna get hurt, like I've dated people like, I know you're gonna hurt me.
You're just like, I'm gonna fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
One, do I love the experience? I have that like writer thing where I just like have to like keep fucking myself over.
Yeah.
Cause then I'm like, well,
Makes
at
you
least we
feel
got
alive.
some content, But like, it also means it'll never be over. Like it will end at some point because that relationship always had an expiration date. And so I don't have to settle down, even if I want to. Even if I'm like, I love you and want to spend the rest of my life with you, I'm like, yeah, but this shit is fucked up, so it's gonna end at some point
it's
anyway.
Not me, it's you.
Like, you're a terrible person. I'm a terrible person.
But this
It's not
was
gonna
fun.
work. But it was fun.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends who are my homies still. We're like, that was crazy when we were talking. Would never do that again.
But you can come dog sit for me anytime.
Yeah.
What's one of the like crazy? Have you ever had someone like crash out on you real crazy and do some like nut shit?
Oh yeah. My ex-girlfriend punched me in the face at a party. Because my boy was like getting with my ex's friend. He was on FaceTime with my ex, and he goes, "Come here, I need to talk to you." And my girlfriend at the time saw my ex on FaceTime, and we were fucked up at a house party, and she just like 6 haymakers. Like she's like
Red
super
food.
tiny too.
Yeah.
She's like 5 foot. Like just like
No
attacked
damage,
me.
but-
Yeah. She when I did that COVID book, we used to live like down the block. She came to my house and she ripped up the book and threw it at my door. And me and my roommate were home and we were like, "You just hear a bang?" And I opened the door and the book is in pieces outside the door. And she's walking down the hallway and she turned around and giving me the finger. And I was like, "For what?" Just out of nowhere.
And that's it.
We also got back together that day. So, I've crashed out too.
Yeah.
I'm a comment on the Venmo transaction if you blocked me type.
Oh my God, will you?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll send an email occasionally.
Oh,
I've done that before.
I love an email.
One email.
I
too.
love an
Just
email.
like, hi, sorry. But
I
or
lo-
like I've had people reach out to me on Depop.
Depop is crazy.
Or like, some back alley.
Wait, Depop is crazy.
You should like buy someone's top, be like, here's my address, like come over.
That's actually crazy. I think I've done I was seeing this girl who I emailed and we like worked through it via email. My dog is humping Van. And we just kept like we got back together and we just never unblocked each other. And just only I'd be like email like, "I'm outside. You ready to go?" So when we stopped talking, yeah, she ghosted me too. I've never been like truly ghosted. Yeah, this is Gen Z. What's under Gen Z? These 22-year-olds, bro.
Are they a different generation?
Are they? Are they Gen Z?
They're
Demons, man. They don't give a fuck. They would be like, yo.
They grew up with like all of this shit. Like
ghosting is so regular. They're like, yeah. We were seeing each other for 8 months and then I never spoke to him again. What? You didn't even say bye? You didn't say, "I don't want to do this anymore." They're just like, "Yeah, I just blocked his number and never spoke to him again." I'm like,
that's blocked and never spoke to him again. It's crazy. Like I've been in a situation and then like something else comes into my life and then I kind of forget about the other person.
Yeah.
And like, but I wouldn't call that like active ghosting.
No,
like,
no,
I'm
no.
not going out of my way to be like, I'm bored, block, never mind. Like
No,
it's
like-
just like I will just like fizzle out and naturally move on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an advocate for like
A fizzle
letting
is
things
fine.
fizzling out.
Yeah.
But just like overtly blocking someone
Just
after
being
8
like-
months is fucking
and
nuts.
I've never done it, and I'm like an over communicator. So let's have a conversation. Because a lot of people end up like that's a real relationship that we could still be friends, or even if we're not like close, that can be mutual beneficial.
Yeah.
Like I just did a project with my ex's friend. She like reached out to me and she was like, "Oh my God, let's do this." And because me and my ex are cool, that's an okay thing to do. Like I do my best not to burn bridges. So like for you, the way I imagine it is they're like texting some other dude and they're just like, "You know what? I think I'm done." And just that's crazy.
That's some heartless shit.
Yeah, and it's like
Streets are not safe.
I don't think I didn't get ghosted till I was 30. Like you don't get trained for this shit either. I was like, am I getting ghosted for the first time at 30 years old?
That's crazy.
Also says a lot about the relationships.
that you participated.
Also getting ghosted and then seeing the person that ghosted you out.
What do you do? Like, what do you?
It's
how does
crazy.
That go
I don't
down?
know. I just like take a picture of them. I'm
Post
like,
them and tag them.
"Have you been?" Can't tag you actually because if you want to see the picture, unblock me.
So funny. What's like the best date you've ever been on? Do you have one? In that long list of dates.
I don't think I have a best date. I've really only ever been on one bad date. I also don't go on a lot of dates.
Okay.
If I
What
ask
do you
you,
consider a date?
even like grabbing drinks, if it's an intentional like time spent one-on-one with someone, that's a date to me. You made a plan to hang out, the two of you. That's not like sitting in the apartment or something.
Yeah.
I don't really go on a lot of dates though.
Right.
Like if I ask you out, because for the most part, I'll run into you, I'll see you, we'll be somewhere at whatever. So unless I'm like truly, truly interested in spending time with you, I feel like
You can just catch someone.
Yeah. And so someone I ask out is someone I'm like genuinely interested in getting to know.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause like time is money. Like
it was a dates cost money.
Dates cost money. I mean, I remember when I was like more traditionally scheduled with like work and things, and it felt like dating was like what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like working at this law firm on 49th Street, and it was like go to work and like I'd work a crazy day and then go out to drinks with someone I didn't fuck with. Yeah. And I'd be like, why am I just killed myself all day at work, and now we're supposed to get drinks because I'm supposed to be dating and spend like $250 too.
Yeah.
So I've had two bad dates. I've never had, other than that, like every date's been good. Whenever the date doesn't end when it's supposed to end, it's an exceptional date.
Yeah.
If you do multiple things in a night. I went on a date where I caught a flight somewhere once, and we were just like,
what, as part, like,
we went on a date,
yeah,
and the date was so good. She was like, I'm going out of town tomorrow, like for work. Do you want to come? And I was like, yeah.
That's really
and I
fun.
booked a flight, yeah, and it was mad fun.
Because like I don't like a lot of my friends who are looking for love. They're always like going on these dates, right, with like strangers. I'm like, you can't. I personally don't believe that you can like fall in love from like 3 dates. I mean, you might feel differently because you just declare your love for a lot of people.
True.
But in terms of like those like long-term real relationships, I feel like they're built from a natural friendship because you can like get to see each other in lots of different situations. You're not performing a version of yourself all the time. Whereas like that kind of traditional like dating template, like I've never had any real success with it. What do you think about that?
I think meeting someone organically is the best way to date. I just saw something on like TikTok or like a Reels about how the apps are like meant to, it's like 1% of the people like actually form a connection.
Yeah.
And it's meant to keep you longing and wanting.
That's pretty fucked up.
Like Bumble is made for men to not be matched with, basically.
Yeah.
I've never really been an apps person. I feel like genuine, like if you meet, like I've met people out and it's just continued, right? Yeah. And that is like the most, and so whatever, 3 dates. I don't know if a lot of people sometimes it's real love, but I think I call it love adjacent infatuation.
Yeah.
It's like if you can start there at that level of infatuation and move into something real.
Yeah.
But I do think like meeting, however it is, even if you don't start as friends, meeting in a way that's real and organic is something you can't replicate online or whatever. Even Instagram is like a little real these days. Like maybe people you never met before and you just like reply to each other's stories for like a year and then you're like, you want to go out? Like I've been talking to you every day for a year. So low-key, like,
why not?
Yeah, we're kind of friends.
So do you believe in love at first sight?
Not at first sight, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
Not at first sight. At first link. Love at first link. Love at first link, for sure.
Trademark that.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of fire.
What are some of your dating icks? Or like icks?
Okay. Big rule.
Yes.
I always intend and always want to pay. This is an unpopular opinion too.
Okay. Hot take.
I'm always ready to pay for the date. I want to pay for the date I grew up with some traditional gender roles and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But a must, like I will never speak to you again. At least romantically. If you don't fake wallet grab, if you don't go like this, when the check comes out,
Oh.
if you don't at least do that,
Yeah.
can't do it. You gotta at least, and it could be an obvious fake, right? It's the respect for me and yourself to be like, and you're also doing me a favor, because then I can be like,
don't worry,
all right.
I got you.
That's helpful to me too. Like everybody wins in that situation. And unless I've made it explicitly clear, unless I'm like, I want to take you out, that's the only outlier. Because then I've said,
this is all I'm taking control here, yeah.
I had a girl that I talked to for a year, bro. Mm-hmm. This is like back when like you had to call your credit card company and be like, I'm out of town, like whatever. She lived in Charlotte. This is crazy. We never were in New York at the same time. And she was in Charlotte and she was leaving to go. She was visiting in New York while I was in Mexico. And she was leaving to go back home. I was flying in the same day. I was like, oh my God, romantic ass me. I was like, we need to like, let's at least get brunch, right? My cousin has a store in Harlem, which is on the way to the airport for her. I shower my cousin owns a dog shop. I'm like using the dog shit to like clean my underarms just so I can go to brunch with this girl. We go to brunch. I just got off the flight from Mexico. We have 2 hours together. We go to brunch, everything's cool. I didn't call my credit card company and be like, I'm back in the US. So the check comes, my card declines.
Shit.
She just looked at me and was like,
broke ass.
Figure it out.
No.
Bro.
No.
Brunch was like $80. I was like.
She said figure it out.
She just looked at me and was like, I'm like, so I get up, go outside, call my bank being like, whatever.
Unblock this.
Yeah, unblock it, all that stuff. Like text fraud. You could just like text and like give it a second.
Yeah.
So I'm on the phone. I'm like, whatever. I come back in. The waiter had come over. She wasn't like, you can just send me the money, like whatever. She's just still sitting there. Gave the waiter the card. She walked out. I was like, I'm literally never going to speak to you again.
Yeah.
To her credit, the next guy she dated, she married.
Right.
So good for her.
Does that happen to you a lot?
Honestly, no. Not really. I think my ex, when I lived with, she is getting married to her best friend I wasn't supposed to worry about.
Oof.
I know. They started dating immediately, too.
Oh, fuck.
Like, immediately.
You've really been through every single cliche scenario, haven't you?
She's honestly the only person, though, that I'm like, there's 0 two sides to this story. Like, every relationship, I feel like it's like, you did this, that informed this behavior, whatever. Mm-hmm. She might be the best person I know, and it was all me. Like, it was all, it was all me. Everything was perfect. I fucked the whole thing up. So when she got engaged, I was like, we're even.
Yeah.
Like, we're good now. Happy for you.
Did that one hurt, though? Did you feel it?
She unblocked all my friends, so all my friends could see it, too.
Oh my God, but not you.
I actually tried to, this is a very toxic thing I did. She draws. I tried to contract her for Bodega Flowers. I had Miguel reach out to like pay her.
Such a piece of shit, really.
I got like drunk once and I sent her $1,000 because I was like, honestly, you deserve that. And I was fucking up back then. That's my toxic trait. She kept that shit.
Oh, she was like, thank you. Reparations.
Yeah.
What's the most romantic thing someone's done for you?
I mean, there's a lot of like, I'm a big gift receiver. I've received some cool gifts. Yeah. Honestly, my ex-girlfriend got me my bike, which, you know, I love that thing.
Oh, the electric one.
Yeah. That was cool. That bike means a lot to me. I've like since bought my own, but that was cool. I'm a big Bukowski fan, like obsessed. Mm-hmm. And my favorite TV show is Californication. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how I didn't realize it, but like for years, I just didn't know that the main character of Californication is based on, is like a modern day Bukowski.
Okay.
And she contacted the artist that did all the art for the show and got the painting, got the original print that was in the main character's apartment for my birthday. It's that one.
The big
The
one?
Target, yeah.
Oh my god, wow.
And she like pen palled the artist for like a month to get the original print that was in the main character's apartment in the show.
That's insane.
It was crazy.
That's serious graft.
And it was like it wasn't like the most expensive thing in the world, but I was like, that's a real thought. Yeah, real. I wouldn't have thought of that.
And like effort, really, real effort
Yeah,
into that.
like she was emailing back and forth with this dude to like become friends.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have a type? Did you say you have a type? Like in England, we call it a type on paper, or like, you know, I'm sure you've heard that saying before.
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
If you saw, at least everyone I've taken seriously, it's all over the place. Like, it's everywhere. There's no.
Is there like a common thread in any way? Because like I wouldn't say I have like a visual type, but I'd say like I think there's like a commonality in like maybe personality types or.
Not really. I think there's like a lot of parts of me, and I guess I'm like, it's like annoying because I'm looking for a person that encompasses all of them, but there's like a lot of moving parts to me as a person. Things I enjoy. So like sometimes I'll fall in love with a person who like hits one quality that I feel like is not like, I'll fall in love with someone who reads because I love books, and I'll be like, damn, you love books? And then I realize like all the other shit they don't do, and I'm like, well, this is actually not gonna work. Yeah. She read though, and that was nice. No, but I feel like there's really no common thread at all. It's very complicated for my mom to deal with. She'll be like, what?
What are we doing?
Yeah. My mom won't even talk to someone that I haven't been dating for a year. I put her through too much.
Right.
She's seen too many things.
Well, because a lot of people are trying to find like the one, but they don't necessarily like dip their toes into all the not ones, right?
Yeah, I think that's important.
But then you, and like maybe to some extent, like I can relate to that. You've like you've thrown yourself into the thick of it, right?
Yeah.
And you've gained your scars over the years, right? Like, do you think one is better than the other, or I don't know?
I feel like, I don't know. We're only here for a little bit, so people are different. Like, I got in this huge fight with my homie because I'm like, yo, how do you move to New York and then date someone right away and then leave? And you didn't even do anything. Like, I just feel like there's so much to experience in this life that you kind of need to do so much to even figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you forget like who you want to be with. Like, I would have never known I had this much of an artistic inclination if I didn't do all this extra shit. And I would have known that I love all of, even like the business aspect of Bodega Flowers. I would have never thought of that if these two crazy women didn't fuck me up. And I was like, well, I'm going to make some art about it. Like, I just one day was like, I'm going to make art about this shit. And
here we are, basically.
Yeah. And so I feel like you have to, even the not ones, there's so much to like gain from it that why not?
Yeah.
Like, why not figure it out?
I feel that way. At least like, you know, as you get older, I think, and you start to realize the lessons you've learned through the experiences you've had. And then you can see someone else go through something and you're like, I could have seen that from a mile away. Like, you kind of experience your own wisdom.
Bro.
And I love that shit. Knowing that like, yeah, right, I cried for a month about that, or like, I thought at that time that was the fucking be all and end all. Now, like, it's like building resilience.
Oh, for sure.
You know? And I personally like love that part of it. Like, not being in the trauma, but growing from it and then being like a bigger, stronger, faster version of yourself. Like, I think that's like a really good thing that can come out of it.
Bro, the way I can go through like all of the stages of debilitating depression after a breakup in like 4 days, and I'll be like, yo, feel this shit right now.
Yeah.
4 days, all right, we good. Like,
Yeah.
the whole process.
Yeah, I have friends who like, I'm like, oh, like, you know, how's your babes? And they're like, oh, you know what, we broke up. And I'll be like, oh, so which phase are you in?
Yeah.
Don't worry, like, give it like another couple of weeks, you'll be all right. And then this will happen and that will happen. And I'm like, you fucking psychopath.
No, even
but it is real. Like, you do, like, notice your own patterns.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone kind of shares them a little bit as well.
And I definitely have patterns for people that are not good for me.
Yeah.
Right? I don't really have a type when it comes to, like, real relationships and people that I, like, actually, like, pursue things with. But I definitely have an emotional pattern with people that are bad for me. I.e., you hate me is my type. Like, everyone I've ever, like, crashed out over, we were, like, together for a year and, like, actively hated me the whole time. And I was like, this is what it feels like. Love.
Sick bastard.
No, it's crazy that you, like, what you're saying. Like, even I remember my sister started dating this shitty dude. I don't know a thing about this dude. She gives me, like, the bullets, right? She's like, oh my God, he's finding me here. Like, we're going here. And I'm like, where's he from? What's his name? What does he do for a living? And I'm like, okay, enjoy this, but here's what's going to happen step by step.
Yeah.
Like, and I literally, like, went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 months later, she's like, bro, every single step happened. My mom's calling me like, we have to get rid of this guy. And I'm like, what happened? And I'm like, exactly what I said was going to happen.
I knew it.
Down to, like, almost like the timing was perfect. And I'm like, I know that because I have gone through this 500 times. Yeah. So it is kind of cool to be able to, like, get to that stage.
What's your best breakup advice?
Keep going. Like, keep moving. I mean, like, I've definitely, like, struggled with depression in general. So, like, breakup plus depression is a crazy combo.
Yeah.
I've crashed out crazy before, like, for sure. So, I forgot who told me this, but someone was like, do all of the shit that you're supposed to do, even though you don't want to do it. And eventually, it'll just turn into what you want to do. So, like, get up, work, go to the gym, and, like, no matter how bad you don't want to do it and how shitty it feels, if you continue to do all of that, one day all of the feelings that you feel will, like, start fading because you're just, like, continuing your routine. So, like, routine honestly is the best part, and whatever closure you need to get from it, you can't always, like, get it, and you have to accept that you're not always, like, the closure is it's over sometimes.
No, it's interesting you say that because, like, you know, a lot of people seek that last conversation or something to, like, make yourself feel better about how everything went down. And I actually am kind of the opposite because I feel like if you give somebody a window to, like, just continue what doesn't necessarily need to be continued, like, that can actually be counterproductive. Like, if I know how I feel about something and I feel like I'm intelligent enough to read my own situations and be like, all right, that's what went down.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody to, like, tell me they agree with me about what happened. Like, obviously we broke up because we disagree on something or we fundamentally don't work or our lives are different paths. Like, no conversation is gonna, like,
it also doesn't need to be mutual.
Yeah, exactly. Facts.
I remember a girl breaking up with me and I was like we were, like, talking on the phone, like, going through it, and she was just like, you know that 2 people don't have to agree to break up, right? Like, I don't fuck with you anymore. And I was like, facts.
That, like,
it, like, hit. I was like,
doing, like, the equation, like,
I was like, I guess that's true. Okay, like,
no,
see you later, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Like, people always talking about closure, and it's like, it just doesn't always have to be, like, okay, because otherwise you probably would have stayed together if you'd been, like, agreeing on shit.
And sure, like, sometimes you break up with someone and it's mutual and it's love, and, like, that's cool too. Like, but if you don't, like, you don't.
Yeah. What would you say, like, the highlights of your photography and event production sort of creative career have been?
I think on, like, things that we have an M Jewelers collab Friday. That's cool.
Oh, What, like, are you doing a party at the store?
We're doing a thing at the store, and like, I'm from New York, so I'm a name chain baby for like forever. So to have like a brand want to do anything for me in any way that way is cool as hell.
What are the necklaces? Like,
Yeah, they say I miss us.
I knew it.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my guess. Like, I miss you or something.
Yeah. And then they do, and it says block party
Cool.
for the book. Event wise,
You've had some pretty big celebrities come through. Have any of those been particularly exciting?
yeah, I mean, it's always like cool, and it's cool to see the chains of connection to people that feel like so far away. Like when someone's like, "Oh yeah, like Diplo pulled up because like my boy was with him and they were like looking for something to do," and I'm like, weird that I have a yeah, like why do I? Okay, like, cool.
Was it 6 degrees of separation or such shit? Yeah.
Also, like, I don't know, everyone's famous now, so I never even be knowing. Someone would be like, "Yo, you know that girl from TikTok that was at your party?"
It's like 10 million followers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok, so I'm trying to be on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok.
TikTok's not ready for you.
I scare myself with TikTok.
Right. What's your hopes for the future with Bodega Flowers and your photography? Like, you know, where do you want it to go? What's the long-term vision?
I think the long-term vision is a lot of like creative direction. I would like to help a lot of brands do, like multiple brands do what I've done with Bodega Flowers. I think
like a consultancy almost.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, it sounds crazy sometimes, but like a lot of people like struggle with how to connect with other human beings. And to me, that's all a brand really is.
And that's something very natural to you.
Yeah.
You do it actually in surplus.
Probably too much. And so that would be a cool thing to like help other people. I feel like I do it for free now anyway. Like someone's always like calling me or like asking to get coffee. So it would be cool to like do that.
Formalize that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And if you had like a dream location or like you had the infinite budget, you could go anywhere in the world, fly all your homies out there, like where would you like kind of dream Bodega Flowers party be?
Dream Bodega Flowers party. That's a really good question. I feel like I don't even know. Where would I do it? I mean, it would be somewhere in New York for sure.
Really? In the whole world, you'd still pick New York?
I would love it here.
Yeah.
This is so messed up, but I've been thinking about it because I want to do a party at my middle school. We're workshopping that right now, actually, in the library. So that would be cool. Or my church. I know. If the money's right, they would definitely take it.
Like, I know whatever you do will be amazing. I'm like, need to yet to figure out what that vision is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little self-obsessed, so like something that's like connected to me in some way, honestly, would be the dream location. Or like the garden, you know, we go like, we could do anything. The garden would be crazy. But right now, it's my middle school library.
Wow, fair enough.
That's like my immediate goal is my middle school library.
I think no one else in the world would have that answer.
I
have to say. I think you're completely unique on that.
That is a place that made me who I am, and so that would be hilarious and so funny to go to the place where I spent like 8 hours a day and throw a party in there because I was 12 and couldn't even conceptualize drinking and just get fucked up in the library. That'd be fun.
Right, but well, I'll
You'll DJ?
I'll DJ.
That'd be kind of lit.
I'm about it.
Okay, done.
If you could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, who would it be?
Good question.
Don't say like your future self.
No, that would be crazy. Any artist. I mean, I'm a music person, so Lauryn Hill's in my top for sure. Like, I have this idea of at the church event or at my show, there's this like one song. Sometimes when I'm drunk and like, or girls come home with me before, I'm like, do you want to listen to some gospel? And I like play them this YouTube video. And that's kind of like a measuring stick for me. 'Cause I'm like, do you think that's cool? So this is one song that I've always wanted performed at an event by like an entire gospel choir.
Yeah.
And so Lauryn Hill, like when she did Sister Act and shit, I actually performed the Sister Act performance in church when I was a kid.
Oh my goodness.
So that would be fire. And I love her. So
You should do it at the party in the church.
that would be.
I'm seeing it now. It's coming together.
I feel it.
What is your go-to camera or piece of equipment that you couldn't live without?
My EOS G2 Canon film camera. It's cheap because being in parties, it breaks.
Yeah.
But it is very reliable. Oh, second collab artist, Jessie Reyes. If there's a woman that understands the emotions, Jessie Reyes and SZA be having me fucked up all day. If you haven't listened to any Jessie Reyes,
Yeah, no, I haven't.
bro. And her voice is crazy, and then you listen to like the shit she's saying, and you're like, she's putting into music like the things that I'm putting into my photos and the writing and everything. She's putting it into her music in a crazy way that's like mad raw, but also like a bop at the same time. Same thing with SZA. SZA like
Emotional.
and just
Raw.
like real.
Yeah.
Like the last album, The Range. Phoebe Bridgers is on that. Like crazy.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna check out Jessie Reyes.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I think you're gonna fuck with it.
Today.
You might fuck with it, honestly.
All right. Well, that is all my questions for you. So thank you
Perfect.
so much for everything. Do you want to shout out like your socials and like how people can find you?
Disposable Relly and Bodega Flowers _ Seltzer water. That's it.
All right. Thank you.
Of course.